everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you once again as we head towards match day. 2 days away now from Arsenal's return to action against Molde in Norway in the Europa League, hoping to get back to winning ways as well, of course, after, let's face it, a few disappointing results and certainly a few disappointing performances for Mikel Arteta's side, the latest one coming on Sunday in that draw up at Leeds, with I suppose you say mitigating circumstances given they played with 10 men for so long, but I'm not going to talk about that game again, because you can head down and see on yesterday's video for me to cover all things from that draw at Ellen Road. Just quickly, thank you as always to everyone for all your support on this channel, and for your likes, your subscriptions, your comments, and keep them coming. And if you are new to it, then please do hit the subscribe button, and I will try and keep you as updated as I possibly can with all things Arsenal throughout the season. Obviously, part of that video I spoke about yesterday, a big part of it was about Nicolas Pepe and the fallout from his sending off against Leeds. What Mikel Arteta had to say afterwards, what some of the pundits had to say, what I had to say afterwards. And Nicolas Pepe, since yesterday's video went live, he has issued an apology. I'm sure you've probably seen it. It's come on his Instagram channel. He admitted he had let the team down with his actions with the red card. He said, "Yesterday I've let my team down at a crucial time in the game and there is no excuses for my behaviour. I am deeply sorry and would like to apologise to the fans, my teammates, my coach and everyone else at the club." So nice apology from Nicolas Pepe there, which I'm sure most people will certainly accept. Look, it was stupid what he did, and it's certainly not going to put him in Mikel Arteta's good books, I'm pretty sure. By now, and I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure by now Mikel Arteta would have sat down with Nicolas Pepe yesterday at the training ground and spoke about the incident, spoke about what he expects from him, and that the two have sort of smoothed things over and will hopefully go forward from there. Like I said in yesterday's video, it was going to be interesting to see just how quickly Mikel Arteta puts his trust back in Nicolas Pepe. Obviously banned for the next 3 games. Comes back, I think it's Southampton on about December the 15th. It's going to be his first Premier League game that he's available for, and it'll be very interesting to see just how quickly Nicolas Pepe forces his way back into the Premier League starting 11. It'll be very interesting as well. We'll see if he's involved this Thursday night, actually. Is Mikel Arteta going to punish him even more, if you see what I mean, for how he reacted by not including him in the Europa League games? I think on normal occasion, that might actually be the case that he would. But I think when you're looking at it, given there's injury doubts, certainly to Bukayo Saka at the moment, Willian as well, then maybe Nicolas Pepe will play, because he's not going to be able to play in the Premier League for 3 games, so you may as well use him in the Europa League, starting on Thursday at Molde. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Pepe does continue to play at the moment, or if Mikel Arteta kind of uses that game as another way of punishing the Ivory Coast international for that headbutt and that sending off against Leeds. I would suggest hopefully he doesn't, because then you're just hurting yourself more. And I think as well with Nicolas Pepe, given what's happened to him, the best way forward with him is probably to get him back in the side and see if he can do something on the pitch and give back to Arsenal that way by contributing. I think it just hurts everyone by leaving him out, and it's certainly not going to help Nicolas Pepe's mindset. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what he does, Mikel Arteta. But I thought it was a good apology from Nicolas Pepe, and hopefully everyone can sort of move forward now, put that one behind him, and focus on him getting back in the side after his ban and getting back to his best. Because let's face it, Arsenal need Nicolas Pepe. Yes, he can frustrate at times, but they certainly need him. And I thought, as I said in yesterday's video, he was actually one of Arsenal's brightest players at Leeds before that sending off. The Arsenal squad travels over to Norway today ahead of that game against Molde. Press conference is tomorrow with Mikel Arteta at 4 o'clock, and a player as well we'll be speaking to. So please do head over to my social media channels. I'm on Twitter at Charles_Watts. I'm on Facebook as well. And I'll be providing all the updates from that press conference once it begins in Norway at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Right, now I just wanted to quickly talk about another big bit of news. Certainly it's a monumental bit of news, really, considering how long it's been now since Arsenal have not had fans in stadiums, since we've seen fans in any Premier League stadium. It is getting closer to that point. I'm sure you all saw what Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister over here, had to say yesterday about fans returning to the stadium. We are edging ever closer. We're still in lockdown here. We are until December the 2nd, I think it is. And then after that point, fans will be allowed back in elite level sports stadium. Not many. It's looking like it will only be 2,000 at first for Arsenal. When you think it's a 60,000 seat stadium, that's going to be an awful lot of empty seats, but it's still 2,000 fans who can come in. And look, it's not going to make Arsenal much money. In fact, there's talk that it might even lose Premier League clubs money, but given the extra resources they'll have to pay for to get people in safely and do what they need to do to ensure fans can come into the stadiums. But just seeing fans in the stadium after what's been such a difficult year for so many people, I know what it will mean to those fans who do get the chance to go in. My dad is he's 75 now, season ticket holder, absolutely desperate to get back to Arsenal. He's been a season ticket holder for 30 odd years now, missing it so much, and I know what it will mean to him to go back there, and so I know what it will mean to everyone else as well. We're in the same position, who want to go back and support their team. Now, how it's going to happen, we'll have to wait and see. Arsenal are kind of assessing everything that's been spoken about. They're talking to the relevant parties, and they will come up soon, I expect, with an announcement about exactly how things are going to be managed over the next couple of weeks. It's looking like the Rapid Vienna game, which is on the Thursday night straight after lockdown eases. I think it's pretty much a day after, on December the 3rd. I think we're looking at that as a possibility for the first game that we'll see fans inside the stadium. Exactly how those fans are chosen, though, that's the big thing that we're waiting to hear from Arsenal, how exactly they're going to do it. There was fans have entered a ballot. They did that a while ago before the sort of new restrictions were brought in and kind of stopped in the tracks plans for fans inside the stadiums. But we had got to that point before, and fans had put their names forward for a ballot, and it remains to be seen now whether those fans who have already applied for the ballot, they'll be the ones who go in to get these 2,000 potential tickets for the Rapid Vienna game. Updates will follow from Arsenal. They've told us at the moment they're still sort of mulling everything over. They're assessing it. They're having the necessary chats with everyone before they can come out and release exactly how they're going to move forward with getting fans back. But fingers crossed, it's not going to be too long before some of you get to go back into the Emirates and see your team play. And it'll just be so great. It'll be great to look around. It's been so strange for countless months now, although it's been so long that I'm almost used to it, going to the stadiums now and seeing them empty and seeing the seats covered over with those big banners. But just going in there and seeing a couple of thousand, even if it is only a couple of thousand, even if they're not allowed to sing, which it looked like they're probably not going to be able to, and there are going to be really strict rules in place, it's just going to be great to see Arsenal fans in their Arsenal kits sitting watching their team play football. So fingers crossed it's not too far away. A lot of you have been getting in touch asking about Folarin Balogun. Obviously the Arsenal teenage youngster, very highly rated at the club, and he's had this contract situation. He's only got a year left in his deal. Arsenal and him had broken down with that deal. I did a bit about it a while ago when that happened. Talks were broken down. Arsenal told him he was free to leave at the end of his contract because him and his people weren't warm in receiving the contract offer that had been on the table for Arsenal, which was heavily incentive based. Arsenal felt it was a decent contract offer, felt he could have the opportunity to earn a lot of money over the next few years if he accepted it, if he hit the sort of standards they were setting for him. That wasn't something that he and his representatives agreed with, so the deal wasn't signed, and at that point the deal was pulled off the table and Arsenal said, okay, you're free to go at the end of your current contract, which runs until 2021. There was interest in Balogun in the summer. Arsenal didn't take it. They've rejected bids. They've rejected bids from Brentford. They've rejected bids from Sheffield United. Balogun has now been sort of welcomed back into the fold a little bit by Mikel Arteta, who's had him in training. He played him, obviously, gave him his debut in the Europa League a few weeks back. And now David Ornstein in The Athletic, I'm sure you all know David, has wrote a piece yesterday saying that those contract talks have now reopened and Arsenal are looking at the possibility of keeping Balogun. Now, I can't add anything more to this, I'm afraid. As far as I'm aware, last time I spoke to anyone about the Balogun situation, it was still looking like he was probably going to leave. Now, Arsenal are hopefully trying to convince him otherwise, but I think if they are going to do that, then these contract talks that have been reopened, according to David, are going to have to focus on a pretty different path to the one that Balogun and his representatives rejected not too long ago. So, maybe sort of green shoots of recovery in terms of the talks with Balogun and Arsenal, but as far as I'm aware right now, as it stands, he's no closer to suddenly changing his mind and agreeing and do new deals. So we'll have to see how those talks progress over the next couple of months. But it'd be certainly good for Arsenal. It'd be good for fans as well, because I know how many of you really like Balogun and rate Balogun and want to see him get more and more opportunities if he does stay, because he's a really talented player. But I think there's a fair few negotiations and talks to go yet for us to get to that stage. So it's one we'll have to keep an eye on over the next couple of months or so. Right, injury latest ahead of the game against Molde on Thursday. Arsenal certainly struggling a little bit when it comes to numbers at the moment, and they weren't helped in their cause by what happened at Leeds on Sunday. They lost Willian to what Mikel Arteta described as a muscular injury. They lost Bukayo Saka late on when he took a nasty kick on the knee when he only come on half an hour earlier and limped off, didn't even finish the game. So that's not ideal, and obviously we've got the Mohamed El Neni Siad Kolasinac situation with both of them testing positive for COVID. So the latest on the injury news ahead of the game against Molde. Thomas Partey, I'm not expecting to be involved against Molde. Far as I'm aware, he hasn't joined in with training yet. He's still working in the gym on his recovery, so I'm not expecting Thomas Partey to make the trip to Norway this weekend, for Thursday night's game, and I'm not sure yet in terms of whether he will be involved against Wolves at the weekend, but I'm certainly not expecting him to play against Molde. Willian and Saka will be finding out a little bit more tomorrow in terms of the extent of their injuries and how bad they are, and whether that will rule them out of the game against Molde. So that update will be coming on Wednesday for those two players. Martinelli and Mari both full training now, although maybe not say full training for Martinelli. He's back with the group, he's doing some stuff for the group, but he's not fully been integrated yet back into full training, unlike Pablo Mari. Interesting to see if Pablo Mari makes the trip over to Norway. I'm certainly not expecting Martinelli to. It'll be interesting to see if Mari does, though. And El Neni and Kolasinac, I'm not expecting either of those two to be involved against Molde on Thursday night. I think we'll have to probably wait for the weekend, and we'll get more of an update from Mikel Arteta tomorrow regarding those two and whether they are still testing positive or if they've tested negative yet after contracting the virus. Lastly, for this video, just in response to quite a few of you who've been getting in touch and asking me questions about this, so I thought I'd just try and cover it off now if I could. Arsenal's plans for the January transfer window. So many messages from you, so many in the comments below saying what you want, what you think Arsenal should be doing, and on my Twitter as well. Now, in terms of January, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I know it's not what a lot of you want to hear, but I'm not expecting Arsenal to be very busy in January. I just can't see it. I'm not saying they definitely won't be, because who knows? You never know. Stan Kroenke might suddenly throw a load of money down and Mikel Arteta will be like, well, let's go out and buy who we can. But I'm just not expecting that. I think finances are really, really tight. Everyone, you saw what Spurs announced yesterday with their losses and their projected losses if the fans aren't allowed back in anytime soon. Arsenal in a very similar situation to Spurs, and I just can't see in January that they're going to do too much. I think certainly in the summer they'll go again and they'll look to improve going forward in terms of attacking midfielders, potentially a new striker as well. That's the area they're going to really focus on now, given the improvements they've made at centre-back with the arrival of Gabriel, and certainly in the improvements in midfield as well with the arrival of Thomas Partey. The next part of the transfer jigsaw for Mikel Arteta is fixing things going forward. I think we'll certainly see an attacking midfielder type player arrive, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a new striker arrive as well, but I think that's something for the summer. So for those of you getting in touch asking me what are Arsenal going to do in the January transfer window, I'm just not expecting too much. That's not to say they won't do anything, because a decent loan opportunity might arrive, but I'm just not expecting them to go and splash out, say, 30 million to buy Szoboszlai or 55 million to sign Houssem Aouar in January, like I know a lot of you want to see the club go out and do, but I'm just not expecting. I think if you're going to see the big name arrivals, potentially some decent money spent on improving things, certainly in an attacking sense, I think you're going to have to wait until the summer transfer window opens for that one. Right, that's about it from me today for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like I said at the start of the video, I do appreciate all of your support, and please do enjoy the rest of your week. And I will hopefully be back to do a video after Mikel Arteta's press conference ahead of the game against Molde. Like I said, that will get underway 4 PM at UK time on Wednesday. Thanks for watching, everyone. Do enjoy the rest of your day.